After King Mena unified the two lands and the rule of the first dynasty began, Egypt started to enter the most dangerous and important stages of its development. It wasn't enough to have a unified king. There had to be institutions, a legal system, and people who knew how to write and manage. With the first steps of this state, the features of a unique civilization began to appear, one that would last for thousands of years. During the reign of the first dynasty kings, the institutions of central government began to form. Ministers, officials, priests, and even an administration for taxation and agriculture emerged. The position of the bearer of the king's seals appeared, which was almost the first official administrative position in history. The country was divided into provinces, and each province had a governor who reported to the royal court. From here, the state began to know administrative organization. The intricate hieroglyphic writing began to appear clearly and became an official means of recording everything, from the names of kings to grain reserves and even correspondence. With the deepening of religious thought, the first large organized tombs appeared, especially in the Saqqara region. These tombs were not just graves. They were funerary temples, and their walls were filled with inscriptions and evidence of an afterlife. Agriculture in the First Dynasty era was fundamental. The ancient Egyptians understood the flood seasons and established an annual calendar based on the movement of the Nile. Grain stores appeared, and the farmer began to cultivate for the king and the state, not just for his family. Primitive but skilled industries also emerged: pottery, weaving, copper knives, and cosmetic tools. Most importantly, they began to trade with their neighbors, Nubia in the south, and Palestine and Sinai in the northeast. Amidst all this, the Egyptian began to form his own view of the world. The idea of ma'at, balance and order, began to take root. Belief in the afterlife emerged, and with it came the concepts of mummification, statues, and religious offerings. Religion in Egypt was not just worship, it was a cornerstone of politics, economy, and society. Through their beliefs, the ancient Egyptians transformed life into a project of immortality. In the First Dynasty era, Egypt did not just build a kingdom, it built a civilization balanced between the sword and the pen, between the Nile and the temples, between life and death. With every step, it drew closer to the greatness that would yet explode in the age of the pyramids. Thus, with the end of the First Dynasty's rule and the beginning of the great influences left by these kings, we have reached the end of today's episode. In the next episode, we will review the major transformations in Egypt during the Middle Ages and how conditions developed during the Hyksos period, leading up to the beginning of the modern Egyptian era. Follow us in the next episode for more exciting details.